Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session 4 on Chapter 8 Infrastructure. We'll be speaking about the various factors of infrastructure, including energy part. In today's session, we are going to discuss about important sector called power or electricity. Is quite known in India at almost a lifeline for any industry and households to survive. Our households and all depends upon the power, electricity. Imagine without the power, electricity, what will be our life will look like. Without the mobile phones, without the internet, without the laptops, without the AC, without the fans, without using any gadgets. For everything we need electricity, so it becomes a lifeline for our survival. And India is one country which is striving very hard to make power sector regulations and make electricity available all the day, that means 24 bar 7, available to all the places, in all the villages, all the districts in India. In this session, we are going to discuss about the two important thing about power, electricity. The another important topic we are going to discuss about is some challenges in the power sector. So in the power sector, what are the issues, what are the problems we are facing in our country? So this is going to be the main topic in today's video. Now let us understand before going to these issues. See, in India we have a separate ministry like coal and iron and steel. We have a separate ministry in our country. In the same way, for the power, electricity also, we have a separate ministry. That is the importance given to the power sector in the country. And in the power sector, we have one separate regulatory. Regulatory means controlling the power or having, if you want to make some changes, if you want to regulate, if you want to control the power supply, for that we have a separate board which is called as CERC. So CERC means it is a Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. So under this regulatory sector, under this system, it is a quite interesting sector, and also it is a intensifying sector which is trying to develop the economy on a large. Now we will understand what is this power, electricity, and what is the problem we are facing in today's India. Let us know power. See, power, it is commonly called as electricity, and we can have from our childhood days, from the day one till now, we will be familiar with a few things regarding this power and electricity. What is that? For example, power cuts. Everybody would come across this power cuts. And why power cuts are happening in our country? And why suddenly the power goes? Sometime we'll be working on some important project or something important. That time the power will get off. And why don't we have 100% of power backups? Why in our country we are lacking in that? When will be there a time where we get the continuous flow of electricity? In India, the statistics tells that nearly 85% to 90% of power only it is generated. It's not 100%. Why? So the reason, that is why we are going to study about the challenges the power sector facing in today's country. Let us understand, let us move on towards what is the concept today. See, the most visible form of energy, which is most often identified with progress in modern civilization. So the most visible form of energy is nothing but electricity, what we call it as a power in our day-to-day life, which is most often identified with progress in modern civilization. This modern civilization purely it depends upon the power. So that is why we call it as in another name electricity. And it is a very critical component of infrastructure that determines the economic development of a country. So it's a most important component It's very important, it's very crucial in today's development of the country. See, here it is given the growth rate of demand for power is generally higher than the GDP growth rate. So there is a greater demand for power. For example, the GDP here it is given 8%, and what should be per annually it should be increased in the power supply means it should be increased around 12%. That means more than GDP, the power supply should be greater. GDP is 8% means the power supply should be 12%. But whether it is happening in a country, the answer is no. So the growth rate of demand for power is generally very higher. But whether the supply is there of the power, the supply is not there. So here let us understand, here some studies point out that in order to have a 8% GDP growth per annum, the power supply needs to grow. It's not already the power is generated, it is needs to grow around 12% annually. So why this 12% annually it should go means there is a, it's a quite simple relationship between this GDP and the power supply. See, GDP 8% and power supply 12%. And the simple relationship, but more powerful one. If GDP has to increase 8% and able to increase in the power supply 12%, why we are depending more on the power supply means the reason is very simple. The manufacturing sector, that means the industries, all the industries are depending upon the electricity power. Without the power and electricity, we cannot run the machineries, we cannot run the show in the industrial sector. If the industrial sector develops, that means if the electricity generated more in number in our country, automatically it will increase the GDP growth rate, and the GDP growth rate will help the power supplies to increase 12% annually. Excuse me. That is why we study about the power and the electricity. Next, we are moving toward, there are different sources of energy generated in India. So there are different sources. For example, in 2016 data, according to the 2016, nearly the energy have been different sources we have from where we are generating the power and the electricity. According to 2016, the thermal power means the energy which is generated from the coal and many other, from all the sources, that commonly we call it as a thermal power. So this portion which indicates the thermal power, and thermal power contributes 70% of energy power is generated. It is having so much of capacity to generate the energy power in a country. And hydel and wind power, so this portion which indicates the hydel and wind power, that is nearing to 16% of power is generated from the hydel and wind power. This is thermal power which contributes 70%, and this is hydel power which is contributing 16%. And next we are moving on toward the nuclear power. Hydel power means the energy which is generated from the water, that is we call it as a hydel power. And wind power, wind means the wind turbines will be rotating. When the wind turbines rotate, the energy will be generated, that is called as a wind power. And the next one is nuclear power. Nuclear power, which is this portion which is indicating the nuclear power, it contributes only the 2%. That means the energy which is generated from uranium and thorium, that is called as a nuclear power, which is accounting for only 2%. So India's energy policy, and here we have hydel and wind power, that is non-renewable resources. The non-renewable resources, new sources of renewable resources we have. All this I said is non-renewable sources. For example, the thermal power and the hydel power and the nuclear power. This is all exhaustible in nature. And the non-renewable, these are all the non-renewable. And the new renewable resources which is accounting for nearly 17%. Nearly 17% of energy is generated from the new source of renewable resources. And in today's energy sector, it is concentrating on India's energy policy encourages the two energy sources. The two energy sources are, one is hydel power, the another one is wind power. See, this hydel and wind power, why the government concentrates, why the energy sector concentrate on these two important sources means because this does not emit the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, when we generate the power, for example, by using the fossil fuels, by burning the oil, natural gas and coal, the fossil fuels that hundreds of years, millions of years from the earth, they'll generate the power. By using this, the carbon dioxide will be emitted and it will affect, and it is related with the environmental concern. But when we generate the power from the wind energy and the hydel power, it will not ending up in the emission of carbon dioxide. This is eco-friendly, this wind power and the hydel power, which is eco-friendly and environmental concern. So the energy sector in the recent days, they are concentrating on this. Yet this has not resulted in a faster growth in our country. We are not achieved any faster growth, and electricity produced from these two sources, and it's not enough. And atomic energy is an important source of electric power in the country. See, atomic power, that is by using the uranium and thorium, generating the power, it's nothing but nuclear power or atomic energy, but it has economic advantages. We have many advantages by using the atomic power, but we are not generating in more in number. At the world level, global average, if you see in the global averages, we have a 13%, but ours production is just 2%. This is far too low. Hence some scholars suggest to generate more electricity through atomic sources, and yet a few others object about this. So whenever we do things, we have both advantages and disadvantages. Now we are moving towards what are the various problems faced in a power sector, some challenges in a power sector. See, electricity generated by the various power station is not consumed entirely by ultimate consumers. So whatever the power is generated through the thermal power, through the hydel power, through the wind power and atomic power and the renewable and non-renewable resources, whatever the sources of energy we are generating, it's not entirely consumed by the final consumers. Then what is the problem we have? A part is consumed. Part means it's not full. In the whole, part is only few. So a part is consumed by power station auxiliaries. Also, while transmitting power means while connecting, transmitting means through various directions, through various sources. When we are supplying the power, while transmitting a power, a portion is what is happening means it is lost in transmission. So while transmitting, this loss is happening. And some of the important problems, that is challenges, that India's power sector faces today are, we have a few problems that we are going to discuss in detail. Now let us see first problem. So India installed capacity. Now the power, for example, thermal power, we have many thermal power station in Karnataka. Many power stations are there, and wind power and nuclear power, atomic power. There are many generating the electricity. We have a Kaigal power, we have a Tungabhadra power station. Many things you people would have studied from school days. So we have many installed capacity to generate the electricity. That is not sufficient to feed annual economic growth. So annually it is needed for 7 to 8%, which is not enough. In order to meet the growing demand for electricity, India's commercial energy supply needs to grow about 7%. That is 7% it need to grow. In order to meet the growing demand for electricity, India's commercial energy, that is nearly 7%, it has to grow. At present, India is able to add only 20,000 megawatts only it's can able to produce in a year. Even the installed capacity is whatever we installed, that is also is underutilized. That is means we are not utilizing at a fullest capacity, it is underutilized. This was the one of the major problem in today's India in power sector we are facing. And the second problem is state electricity boards. The state electricity board, which is distribute electricity, so usually KB, Karnataka electricity boards, the state electricity boards, they will distribute the electricity for all, incur losses. So it is incurring the losses that which exceeds 500 billions. 501 billion means it's nearly 100 crore. 500 billion crores it is incurring the losses. This is due to transmission and distribution losses. While transmitting and while distributing, this loss is incurred, and wrong pricing of electricity and other inefficiencies we can find. Some scholars also say that distribution of electricity to farmers is the main reason for the losses, and electricity is also stolen in different areas, which is also adds to the woes to SEBs, that is state electricity boards. In some places, in some households, they'll steal, the theft will happen, they will show the wrong units by manipulating the connections. So like all this, our state boards are facing nearly 50 billion losses every year, okay, while transmitting and distributing the electricity. And we can find a few more problems also. That is the third problem, which is indicating that is the private sector power generators are yet to play their role in a major way. So we have to allow the private sector to play a key role. Same is the case with the foreign investors also. So foreign investors we should allow, and also the private sector power generators we have to allow, so that they can have few spaces. Whatever the government is incurring the loss in this, they can come and have a part with us, so that we can reduce the problem. The another important one is there is a general public unrest due to the high power tariffs. See, whenever tariffs means the tax which is imposed on the electricity. So there is a high power tariffs and prolonged power cuts in our country. Some, yes, in some places and all, in some villages and all, we can find a more number of times there will be a power cuts in different parts of the country, because in our country there is no full enough sufficient of power generating. So always we find a problem with this. And the another important problem what we can find in a power sector is thermal power plants, which are the mainstay of India's power sector, are facing shortage of raw materials and coal supplies. For thermal power, what are the raw materials which is required? We are facing a lacking in that. We have a shortages in the thermal power plants, and also coal, which is the main raw material for the generating of thermal power. We are facing a problem in these areas, and power sector are facing shortage of raw materials and coal supplies, and thus continued economic development and population growth are driving the demand for energy faster than what India is producing currently. In our country we are facing the major problem for every economic for every social problem is over population, and therefore obviously there will be a greater demand for energy faster than what India is producing currently. So more public investment, better researches and development efforts, exploration, technological innovation and use of renewable energy sources can ensure additional supply of electricity. So instead of investing in the power sector by adding to installed capacity, the government has gone for privatization of the power sector and particularly the distribution, and allowed much higher prices for electricity that have impacted certain sectors very badly. And this is what the various challenges and the problems and about the power sector in India. And thank you for watching. In the next concept, just we are finishing with the energy. I told you already there are two important infrastructure we are going to discuss in this chapter. One is energy, the another one is health. So in the next video we are going to discuss about the health. Make sure that everyone are watching the videos and make use of it, know the information and get educative. Thank you for watching.